Good evening. Welcome to the 2019 St. Paul Football Homecoming. Our first candidate is Miss Katie Coombs. Katie Coombs is the daughter of Diane Coombs and the late Scott Coombs. Katie has participated in volleyball for 4 years, basketball for 3 years, softball for 2 years, track for 1 year, and cheerleading for 1 year. She has also been active in FFA for 4 years, FBLA for 4 years, Student Council for 3 years, National Honor Society for 3 years, and STAND for 2 years. Katie has participated in Talent Search for 4 years, CYM for 4 years, the Veterans Day Program for 3 years, and Yearbook for 1 year. She is currently serving as the President of Student Council as well as Vice President for the class of 2020. Following graduation, Katie plans to further her education at Pittsburgh State University. Katie is being escorted by Mr. Easton Dent. Easton Dent is the son of Chris and Amanda Dent. Easton has participated in football for 4 years, basketball for 3 years, baseball for 3 years, and track for 3 years. He has participated in FFA for 4 years, FBLA for 2 years, and STAND for 2 years. Easton has participated in CYM for 4 years and the Veterans Day Program for 3 years. He previously served as Vice President for the class of 2020. Easton plans to attend college after graduation. Our next candidate is Miss Emily Hutcherson. Emily Hutcherson is the daughter of Dawn Hutcherson and Jenny Hutcherson. Emily has participated in volleyball for 4 years, basketball for 3 years, track for 2 years, softball for 1 year, and cheerleading for 1 year. She has also been active in FBLA for 2 years, STAND for 2 years, forensics for 1 year, FFA for 1 year, and student council for 1 year. Emily has participated in Talent Search for 4 years, CYM for 4 years, the Veterans Day Program for 3 years, and Yearbook for 1 year. After graduation, Emily would like to attend nursing school at Pittsburgh State University. Emily is being escorted by Mr. Chandler Bradshaw. Chandler Bradshaw is the son of Jamie and Kelly Bradshaw. Chandler has participated in football for 4 years, basketball for 3 years, baseball for 3 years, and track for 2 years. He has also participated in FFA for 4 years, FBLA for 4 years, and STAND for 2 years. Chandler has participated in the Veterans Day Program for 3 years and CYM for 4 years. Chandler plans to attend Pittsburgh State University after high school to major in electrical technology. Our final candidate is Miss Taylor Wattrick. Taylor Wattrick is the daughter of Keith and Stacy Wattrick. Taylor has participated in cross country for 3 years, basketball for 3 years, volleyball for 1 year, softball for 1 year, and cheerleading for 1 year. She has also been active in FFA for 4 years, FBLA for 4 years, Student Council for 3 years, and STAND for 2 years. Taylor has participated in Talent Search for 4 years, CYM for 4 years, and the Veterans Day Program for 3 years. She is currently serving as the FBLA President. Taylor's plans after high school are to attend Iowa Wesleyan University to play basketball and eventually to become an ear, nose, and throat doctor. Taylor is being escorted by Mr. Adam Albertini. Adam Albertini is the son of Ross and Gina Albertini. Adam has participated in football for 4 years, basketball for 3 years, baseball for 2 years, and track for 2 years. He has been active in Student Council for 4 years, FFA for 3 years, FBLA for 3 years, National Honor Society for 3 years, and STAND for 1 year. Adam has participated in the Veterans Day Program for 3 years and Yearbook for 1 year. He is currently serving as Student Council Representative for the class of 2020. Adam's plans after high school are to become a big-time farmer's rancher. Tonight's presenters of the crown are Miss Emily Richenberg and Miss Reagan Carlson. The 2019 St. Paul High School football homecoming queen and king are Miss Katie Coombs and Mr. Adam Albertini.
turn them up because we are live on the
Yeah.
internet. You there, Caleb? Yes, sir. Yeah, whenever you are. Got a little echo in the background, so you might have to turn your mic down. Now, welcome everybody to Miles Field. Oops. Try this again. Welcome everybody to Miles Field here in St. Paul, Kansas. Dan Vitt alongside Mike McCracken. Glad to bring you Game 5 of the year, second district game for the Indians. Indians come out with a nice victory over Colony Crest last Friday night, and tonight they face the Altoona Midway Jets on a beautiful evening here in St. Paul, Kansas, Mike.
Yeah, it's a perfect night for football. It's finally cooled off, and the weather's just about right. The field's a little bit wet. They had a junior high game here last night. Got chopped up a little bit, but not too bad. I think it's not going to have too much of an impact on the game. We'll see how it goes, see if it has an effect on the ball being wet or not. But overall, field looks like it's in really good shape, and the weather couldn't be better. So it should be a good night for football here. It's always interesting with this new district schedule. After you've only played a couple of games, here we are already starting district play. But that's part of the way that it goes now, and the Indians know that, and they know that it's all important from here on out, just like it was to start with.
The Indians coming in 4-0 on the season, off to a rampant pace for the Indians here, off mostly the ground game or behind the feet of the quarterback Adam Albertini. Great rushing so far this season, sits about fifth in the state, although the stats I've seen only had him 3 games in instead of 4 games, and he was still like 6th in the state, not counting that 4th game. So heck of a year for Adam so far. Give credit to his line of scrimmage for making him some holes to run through. Easton Dent off to a good start. Also at the fullback position, the Bradshaw boys and Hayden Smith round out that backfield, and they run behind a nice line of scrimmage for the Indians.
That's what I've enjoyed watching so far, Dan, is the way that some of these guys have stepped up to fill the gaps that were left after graduation last year, and they've been able to just keep on moving. And some of the guys the younger guys have really done a good job filling in and coming up, learning the game and their position, and that's really a signal and a sign of what Coach Watrick's always done. When he's got a chance, he gets those younger guys in, and he's still doing that, and that's how it pays off, and he'll just continue to do that, I'm sure.
And also another exciting week for the Indians, Spirit Week this week, because tonight is homecoming, Mike.
Yep, homecoming tonight. That's always a good time. They look forward. I think there's a dance after the game, so they'll all look forward to that. But I know the boys on the field got that out of their mind right now. They got one thing on their mind. That's the boys in the white and blue uniforms across the field. But it is homecoming, and crowned our homecoming queen, Katie Coombs, homecoming king, Adam Albertini, before the game. So homecoming's always fun and exciting, too.
Homecoming, exciting week for the kids with Spirit Week this week, and hope to round that out with a good game. Altoona Midway comes in 1-3 on the season with a nice victory over Chitopa in their opening district round game last week. They look to be a contender for one of the top 2 spots in our district.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've talked about Altoona in that kind of a position, but they're sure enough there this year. And last year, we went over there and played, and Altoona, they're coming around, and they're getting better and better. They've worked hard on that program. They've stuck with it, and they've had some rough years there for a while, but, they're coming back, and they're not anything to be overlooked for sure. And I'm sure that Coach Watrick's made that perfectly clear to the Indians not to overlook this, because Altoona's is a team that's on the rise and getting better, I think, every year.
The end goal for the Indians is to make the playoffs and try to make a run into the playoffs. So I expect them to stay pretty focused on the year. The big senior-laden team here for the Indians. We'll keep everybody on track here as we go down the stretch. As we get into the second round of district play this week, excuse me, Mike. Next week they travel to Marmonton Valley and then Chautauqua back at St. Paul for parent night on the 18th, and then round out the season traveling up to Southern Coffee County.
Yeah, that'll be a couple of road games. We've had a nice little homestand here, 3 in a row. I know that is really something that is good for the team. They've spent plenty of time putting miles on the bus going to some of those long road trips, so it's nice to have a break and get to play 3 in a row at home. But like you said, a couple of road games ahead. At least they're not the 3 or 4 hour drives, but they're still road games, and so you got to take advantage while you got a chance at home.
As I said, focus is going to be a main factor for the Indians, and I expect that not to be a problem. I mean, the honest truth is they are the favorites to come out of this district on top. The district play started last week with Colony Crest, and then Altoona Midway tonight, and then Marmonton Valley, Chautauqua, and Southern Coffee County rounds out that 6-team district. Look for the top 2 spots to be competitive, with Indians being favorites on the top spot. The second spot could be, it's really up for grabs among the rest of the district opponents.
Yeah, the district, like I said, when it's expanded like that, you just never know what's going to happen. You get there, and all it takes is for a team to have a down night or an off night, and anything can happen, and that's why they play. Throw in some weather conditions that could pop up, and you just never know what's going to happen.
And I want to word that a little different. The top 2 spots are up for grabs. It's really a foot race. It's going to be competitive. The Indians, like I said, are the favorite in this district. So we'll see how they come out tonight against the Jets. As Mike said earlier, played Altoona last year, much improved. So I look for them to just build on that. A lot of underclassmen last year, Mike.
Yeah, underclassmen. And you look down the roster for them this year. They've come a long way, like I mentioned, and they're underclassmen. They've built a program, and they've worked them since they were young, and they get a little taste of victory like they did last week, and that can really go a long ways for improvement as they get better and better each week.
I want to give a shout-out to the PTO running the concession stand this year, Mike, raising money for the kids to be spent on scholarships and whatnot. PTO, always a real involved organization. They got loaded baked potatoes for $3. Mike had one of them a little bit ago.
Well, I came up here and there was one sitting right there, and I thought if nobody else can eat it, I'll get it. But I'll tell you what, if you get a chance, if you're listening on the radio out in the parking lot and you haven't come in yet, or if you're here and you can hear us, be sure and get over there and get one of those, because it's pretty good eat, especially something unusual that they don't usually have over there. So it's kind of nice to see that. PTO, like you said, does a good job all the time keeping that concession stand going, and it really goes to a good cause.
Nice crowd on hand here at Miles Field in St. Paul tonight. We're going to be back. There's about 8 minutes until kickoff. We'll round out our pregame show after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105.
appreciate your support of interscholastic activities. Be reminded to respect each other, the student athletes, coaches, administrators, and officials of tonight's contest. This sportsmanship is encouraged by all.
Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul. Dan Vitt alongside Mike McCracken on a beautiful night here in St. Paul. Cold front, a lot of rain came through yesterday. Has the field a little bit soft here, but nice and green on the Bermuda field. We hope it holds up pretty good as Kent Davis has his field in great shape again. Mike, on a beautiful evening, a little cold front came through and cooled things down, makes it feel like football weather.
That's right, feels like football weather. Mentioned that at the top of the show, and it's just going to make it a nice night. Like you mentioned, Kent, I always like to brag on him because he spends a lot of hours sitting on that lawnmower and pushing that paint marker around and getting things ready to go. And he deserves all the credit in the world because he does a really good job at that. Also want to mention we had some problems the first couple games getting our live stream up. I think we got the bugs worked out of that. Should be up and running, so if you want to join us on the internet and watch the video of the game along with the call that we're making on the radio with the live audio, you can join us by checking in the KKOI website at hot1055.net on the internet and scroll down to the St. Paul Indian banner. Click on the banner, that'll take you to the YouTube channel, and you should see a box there that says St. Paul versus Altoona with a little live button in the corner. Click that box and you should be live watching the game right there on your computer, Dan.
A nice night as they go over starting lineups here in St. Paul. They went over the Altoona Midway Jets lineup first. 4 seniors on the squad for the Jets as we get set for kickoff here in about 4 minutes. This is the 5th game of the season for the Indians. They come in 4-0 with hard-fought victories along the way, with a nice victory over Colony Crest last Friday night. Mike, I know you wasn't able to make that game, but it was a pretty good game put together by the Indians.
Yeah, I wasn't able to make it, and I wish I had because I got to listen to you on the air. You did a good job putting that out there, flying solo, and I appreciate that too. But, yeah, it sounds like the Indians last week had a pretty good game and played solid all over the field, both offensively and defensively, and that's what you like to see as they get further along in the season for things start coming together. I think we're seeing that.
The Indians started off the season with a nice road victory at Sedan, a hard-fought victory. Sedan, a good football team. Indians come out with a nice victory there, just kept building their lead along the way and come out with I don't want to say it was an easy victory by no stretch in an 8-man football, but the points, the spread was pretty decent by the end of the ball game. Second game of the year, made a long road trip up to Wichita, Word of Life, and a very talented Word of Life team, but a lot of transfer students hadn't played American football very much, and it showed as the Indians dominated that game too. And then they finally get to come back home in week 3. West Elk comes down, and that game, Mike, I really thought they put a great game together offensively and defensively. It's probably the best I've seen the Indians play in quite a while, offensively and defensively, and just really dominated a real good West Elk team. And then rounded out first district game last week, Colony Crest, with a nice victory there to start district play. This rounds up 3 home games in a row. And as I stated earlier, they will travel to Marmonton Valley on October the 11th, and then Chitopa at St. Paul Parents Night, October 18th. Mark that on your calendar, folks, because that is the last home game for the Indian regular season home game for the Indians, and then travel to Southern Coffee County to round out district play.
Yeah, looks like St. Paul's won the toss. They're going to receive the ball to get the game started.
A little bit odd, usually deferred to the second half, as Coach Watrick elects to take that football here to start this ball game. There's still 2 minutes left to go on the clock, but I think we're set to get underway. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul's. We get set for kickoff. Indians will receive opening kick, 12 minutes on the clock, and we are set to get underway here, Mike.
Yeah, looking down across the field at the Altoona Midway Jets, they got some size on their team over there and some athletic-looking kids, so we'll see how they can match up here on this opening kick. Looks like got inside there near the ball, number 78, Kendall Pierce out there. He's a pretty good-sized boy. And the kicker is
Dayton Marsh.
Dayton Marsh. He's also got some size to him. Looks like an athletic kid, and I'll do all the rest of them.
Here comes the kick. Marsh's kick, squibbing towards the sideline on the north side, is going to go out of bounds about the 14-yard line. We'll see if the Indians elect to back them up 5 yards or take it at the 25 to get the offense started here at St. Paul. We'll see if the wet field conditions has any bearings as far as turnovers, because that ball is going to get slick as the night goes on here, Mike.
Yeah, and the more that the field gets chewed up a little bit, you know, footing could become an issue as well. So we'll see how they handle that.
The Hens have elected to back them up 5 yards and re-kick. There you go. 5-yard penalty as Marsh backs it up to the 25 and resets the ball on the tee as we will get started here again after the out-of-bounds kick, and Indians elect to back them up 5 and make them re-kick. Ball teed up at the 25 now instead of the 30. And here's the kick by Marsh. It's a squib kick right down the middle, taken by that back. Chase Bradshaw lowers his shoulder. Good hard run back into Jet territory at the 33-yard line. Brought down there by a host of Jets. Good hands by Bradshaw. Caught that on the front line at the 40. Ran that back to the 33 of the Jets. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians. Just underway here in the ball game at Miles Field as district play throughout the state gets underway here. Second week of districts. 2 wideouts to the left for the Indians is Smith and Bradshaw. In the pistol is Albertini. He takes a snap. Little pressure. Right up the middle he goes, and he's going to have a nice 5-yard gain on first down. Good pressure by the Jets from the outside. It'll be 2nd down and 5. .11:39 left to go in the game. 2nd down and 5 for the Indian. Ball now down at the 28-yard line for the Jets. Ethan Stone King comes up over the football. Straight set now. In the pistol is Albertini. Set to his right is Hayden Smith. Slot to the right's Easton Dent. Here comes the snap. It's a good snap. He's going to keep it. Albertini tries to break a couple tackles. Brought down hard after another 4 or 5 yard gain. He's going to be short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd down and short.
Came up just short. They're going to run Albertini right up the middle and see what they can do, kind of get a feel for that front line of the Altoona Midway Jets. So far, Albertini's been able to pick his way through there and get some nice gains on 2 carries.
3rd down and less than a yard to go for the Indians. Ball now down at the 29-yard line for the Jets. 24-yard line, excuse me, for the Jets. In the pistol is Albertini. Set to his left is Easton Dent. Hayden Smith slot to the left. Going to run the option. Albertini's going to keep it. Breaks the tackle. Around the outside he goes. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Off that option. Got around the end. Broke 1 tackle. And 24-yard scoring run. That was all Adam Albertini had every carry on the drive. And the Indians get on the board first and lead 6-0.
Yes, lightning struck quick there, and it always does when Adam Albertini's on the field. You can count on him to make things happen. He did just that on that play.
Junior high ball game Thursday night, Mike. Coach Watrick was telling us about running the option out of the pistol, and that's exactly what they did that time, and Albertini scored. In the eye now, Chandler Bradshaw at fullback, Easton Dent at tailback, Albertini up under center. Hand off to Dent, running hard, puts his shoulder pads down, stretches out, and that is good.
Good job.
As he stretched out over that, as he really lowered his shoulder, kept his legs driving, drives into the end zone, and the Indians lead 8-0 over the Jets. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Kickoff by Morelos, taken about the 10 and returned up to the 23 by number 47, Dayton Marsh, on a nice return for the Jets. It'll be first and 10 for the Jets from their own 23-yard line. Stone King at nose guard, Gibb Carter, Wilson Smith at the defensive ends. Chase, Bradshaw, Easton, Dent, Chandler, Bradshaw at linebackers. Hayden Smith and Adam Albertini are the cornerbacks. As the Indians line up, two receivers to the right for the Jets. And up under center is number 33. It's a pitch and it's going to be a reverse. Gibb Carter out here turns it back in. Good tackle by Carter, staying home. Number 16 on the carry, Jimmy Willard, running hard. A gain of 1 on the play. It'll be second down and 9 from the 25. Carter not fooled, stayed home as he was the lone person on this side. So good job by him as Altoona split two receivers wide out to the right.
That's important for that defensive end to know that he's got to stay home. That play looks like it's going away. You don't follow it. You stay right there just for that reason. And Gibb did a good job that time.
Marsh in the pistol this time. Meggs splits out wide to the right. Set next to Marsh is Willard. Marsh is going to keep it around the right side. Looks up. He's hit hard at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be a very short gain on the play. It's going to bring up third down. Looks like Wilson Smith in on that play, and Ethan Stone King gets up off the pile. Good gang tackle by the Indians. Going to be third down and 9. Let's call it third down and 8 for the Jets. Ball spotted at the Jet 25-yard line. Meggs comes up they stay in the pistol with Marsh. Meggs is slot to the left. Willard set next to Marsh in the pistol. Here's a snap. It's a good snap. Willard's going to keep it around the left side. Tries to cut back.
Ball's on the ground.
Ball's loose. And it looks like Bradshaw comes up with it. That ball knocked loose. Maybe Albertini and Chase Bradshaw in on it. And it's going to be a turnover as there's that wet ball, Mike.
Yeah, it slipped right out of his hands. There's a little bit of a strip there. The defender put his hand on it, but yeah, I think the wet ball definitely played a factor.
And the east end of this football field is always the wetter end of the field, especially when you get towards the end zone. Indians back on offense in the I. Easton Dent at fullback. Hayden Smith at tailback. Up under center is Adam Albertini. Here's the snap. He's going to roll out to his right. Under pressure, throws it late, little jump, and it just swatted down because it was nearly picked off by Marsh as Easton Dent just knocked it down to keep it from being picked off because Marsh really had position. Albertini was under a lot of duress by the Jets. Jets getting a little pressure back in the backfield to start this game. Hasn't been easy for the Indians by no stretch so far. 8:43 left to go in the first quarter. 8-0 Indians lead. Second down and 10 off the incomplete pass. Ball spotted at the Jet 26 off the turnover created by the Indian defense. Albertini in the pistol. Set to his left is Hayden Smith. Here comes the snap. Albertini's going to keep it off the left side. He's going to be bottled up after a short gain of the play. Gain of 2 on the play. It'll be third down and 8 for the Indians. Ball now inside the 25 at the 24.
You can see it's getting a little bit slick there as Adam took off. He kind of lost his footing, and that's kind of the tender spot of the field. Really, everything else pretty good shape, but right there between the 20 and the 30 or so of the Jets into the field is getting a little bit chopped up. That's where a lot of the play last night was, that junior high game.
Another inch and a half of rain Wednesday night makes this field awful sloppy and soft. In the pistol is Albertini, third down and 8. He's going to roll out to his right. Now he's going to keep it, turns on the gas, cuts back, streaks past a couple Jets, and then tackled from behind hard, but not until he has a nice 17-yard gain on the play.
From the 24 to the 4, I'm going to give him 20, Dan.
20-yard gain on the play, down to the 4. First and goal for the Indians from the 4. Boy, you could really see Albertini's speed as he really turned on the gas, and when he turned the corner and streaked down to the 4-yard line. Good tackle from behind by number 30, Sade, to save a touchdown. Albertini, high snap. He keeps it, tries to hand it to Dent. Now he pulls it out, and he's going to walk into the end zone on the right side. Touchdown, Indians. There's that option out of that pistol again. Goes for an Indian touchdown around the right side. Indians lead 14 to nothing. 7:37 left to go here in the first period.
You got weapons like Dent and Albertini in the backfield. That option is really tough to try and defend. You're going to have to be on your game. It can be done, but you have to do a lot of work to get it done.
Pending extra point here. Chandler Bradshaw runs the play in from the sideline for the Indians. Stone King up over the football. Right guard Gib Carter, left guard Wilson Smith, right tight end Hayden Smith. And here comes the snap. Albertini's going to roll to his right, looking for Hayden Smith, and up over the head. It falls incomplete, a little high, as Willard hits Albertini after he throws it, and it'll be 14 to nothing. Indians lead with 7:36 left to go in the first. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul, where St. Paul leads early here 14 to nothing over the Jets of Altoona.
Looking pretty good early on here on that offense. They've had kind of a short field to play on so far. Adam Albertini already with 59 yards and 2 touchdowns, and we're only just over 4 minutes into the game. So Adam's having another good night so far. So is the whole St. Paul offense. You know, you mentioned the importance of that offensive line, and I think Adam would be the first to tell you that that offensive line really does a good job up front of containing those blockers and giving him some room to run, making him some nice holes. So a lot of credit goes to them.
Norris has the ball teed up for the Indians. Kick that bounces down the middle, going to be picked up about 15 by Willard. Tries off to the right side. He slips down on his own as he trips on the wet field about the 23-yard line. First and 10 for the Jets from their own 23. Little different look with Norris kicking off instead of
Murillo's been having some problems with that hamstring. He's been bugging him off and on, I think, since the first game, and he didn't play much of that. I don't think he played at all in that first game, but that hamstring injury, that's one of those can follow you around. And
I think they call that a nagging injury.
Yeah, hopefully that's not the problem. I hope he's over it, but.
Looks like Meggs is going to be in the pistol for the Indians. 2 wideouts to the left. Marsh as well as Sims. Now Marsh goes in motion. Hand off to Willard right up the middle. Got a little running room, running hard, but now ripped down after about a 4-yard gain for the Jets. It'll be second down and 6 for the Jets. Ball across the 25 to the 27-yard line.
A little bit of a hole there in the middle for Willard as he found it, stayed low, got a decent gain there on first down.
Second down and 6 for the Jets. Ball at their own 27. 2 wideouts to the left. In the pistol is Meggs. Set to his left is Willard. Motion from left to right is Marsh. Here's the snap. Hand off again to Willard. And this time, no place to go. Gib Carter in there early on, as well as Chase Bradshaw. Bottles Willard up. Maybe a little bit of a loss on the play. They're going to give him no gain. It'll be third down and 6 for the Jets from the 27. 6:37 left to go in the first. Indians lead 14 to nothing. Meggs in the pistol. Set to his right is Willard. Slot to the right is Marsh. Meggs awaits the snap. Here's the snap. It's a low snap. He's going to roll out to his right, looking to pass. It's way over the head of number 78. Pierce was his intended target. A couple yards over his head. It'll bring up fourth down and 6 for the Jets from their own 27-yard line. See what the Jets do here on 4th and 6 from their own 27, hustling people in and off the field. Looks like Marsh is back in punt formation, stands at his own 17-yard line. Back deep for the Indians is Albertini. Marsh ready to take the snap. It's a good snap. No pressure from the Indians. High drive and punt. Good punt. Drives Albertini back. He receives it about his own 18-yard line. Gets past first. Good block by Bradshaw. Albertini zigging and zagging down the sideline. Turns the Jets on. Touchdown, Indians. What a return by Albertini. Good block by Chandler Bradshaw as he made a well of a block about the 22-yard line on a jet to spring Adam Albertini. Down the sideline he went for the Indian touchdown. Pending the extra point here for the Indians. Mason Winter with a good block on that kickoff return punt return for the Indians, awaiting the extra point. The score is now 20-0. 5:56 left to go here in the first. Boy, Mike, I bet you feel lonesome when you're standing on the island and Albertini's running right at you.
Yeah.
And you about got to guess which way to go. Good. Extra point is no good. Good tackle in there by Meggs. Brought Bradshaw down. Extra points no good. Indians lead 20-0. 5:56 left to go in the first. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Let's St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul. 5:56 left to go in the first. Indians lead 20-0 over the Jets of Altoona.
Pretty solid first quarter here by the Indians. The Jets going to have to get something started here. They get the chance to get the ball, see if they can get a good kickoff return, get some field position, and try to make something happen here on offense.
Norris with the ball teed up for the Indians again. Back deep for the Jets is Marsh, and also number 10 for the Jets. Picked up by number 10, starts at his own 20, and now ripped down. Who's that tackle in there? Kaiser Watrick in on that tackle, as well as Austin O'Harris. A good job by them. That return was Johnson, Brandon Johnson, a young freshman with the return for the Jets.
Have a one-arm grab there by Kaiser and didn't let him go. Kaiser also a pretty good rodeo cowboy. That's kind of what that looked like. Looked like he had old bulldogger.
First and 10 for the Jets from their own 21. Indians defense yet to allow first down for the Jets. Here's a snap taken by Willard this time. Tries the right side. He's got a nice gain on the play. Going to be real close to a first down. Brought down hard right there at the end by Dent. He's going to be right at the sticks as I speak. It's going to be a little bit short, and it's going to be second down and short for the Jets. Old Chain Gang doing a good job. James, he needs to stand that stick up straight so we can see you here, Mike.
Yep, Chain Gang is a good job, and it's pretty regular. They're out there. It's James and Matt O'Hara and Joe Renfro. They do a good job over there. Kind of muddy, and they're standing in the slot, but they do a good job.
And the pistol is Marsh. He's going to keep it this time. Gibb Carter with a little pressure. Marsh gets around the left side. He gets out of bounds. He's going to have the first Jet first down. Carter almost had him in the backfield. Gets around him, and it results in a Jet first down. First and 10 for the Jets. Ball at the 39-yard line, just short of midfield. First and 10 for the Jets. Or excuse me, 34-yard line. First and 10 for the Jets from their own 34. Willard in the pistol. Set to his right is Marsh. Here's snap, low snap, gets past Willard. A lot of pressure by the end. Now the ball's still loose, and Willard finally jumps on at the last second. Oop, a little bit of not very happy at the bottom pile. Here's a flag comes in from the back judge. Nobody, I don't understand that.
Had three officials standing right there looking at it, and the back judge clear down the field decided he's going to throw the flag.
I'm Maybe he's seen something the rest
That
of them
could be.
didn't.
There might have been something else going on.
Either way, it's going to be a big loss by Willard. The ball was loose on the ground. You can't fault the Indians for diving towards the football, trying to get on it. Willard took exception to that, thinking he was on the football. We're going to see as the referees discuss what the flag is for. See if they wave it off or see if they do call, and they're going to call personal foul against the Jets off the push off the Willard, and that's really what I had seen happen. I didn't think nobody was going to throw a flag, and that came all the way from the back, Judge, which is a little bit odd. But
that was a good, clean tackle. I mean, just like you said, going after the ball was just good play.
15-yard penalty. Boy, it backs the Jets after that first down to clear back to their own 7-yard line. Boy, you talk about first in a train ride, Mike.
Yeah, it is. That's
second down and an airplane ride to get a first down. They got to get all the way to the Indian 35-yard line, and they sit at their own 7. So see what the Jets can get going on offense here. Second down and long. About 35 yards for a first down. Marsh takes football, tries the right side, and he's going to be drugged down from behind by the defensive ends. That Wilson Smith on the tackle. Good job by Smith. No gain on the play. It is about 38 yards for a first down, Mike.
Whew. Better pull something deep out of the hat on this one.
Third down and 38 for the Jets, pinned back at their own 7-yard line. It all started with a bad snap, got past Willard, and then a personal foul stacked on the end of that. Willard's going to try the left side. A little pressure in the backfield, tackled by a host. Indians brought down about the 10. Short gain on the play. It's going to bring up fourth down and 30 for the Jets. Still back at their own 9-yard line. Mason Winter hustles into the game for Ethan Stone King on this punt return. Willard back in punt formation instead of Marsh. I think Marsh punted the first time. Had a well of a kick.
They may try fake.
Willard with the punt. It's going to come out of bounds. It's not going to be, see where they spot this at. Not a great punt by the Jets. Boy, that's a pretty good spot there.
Yeah, it was.
They spot that at the 25 of the Jets. So it'll be first and 10 for the Indians from the Jet 25. See what the Indians can do on their fourth offensive possession. Actually third, because they scored on a punt return by Albertini. First and 10 for the Indians from their own 25-yard line. 3:46 left to go here in the first period. The Indians lead 20-0. In the I formation, Bradshaw fullback, Dent at tailback, Adam Albertini up under center. Creeping up the line of scrimmage is the Jets. Here comes Dent off the left side, running hard, drops the shoulder pad, breaks a tackle, touchdown Indians. Easton Dent off the right side of the line. He broke that first tackle. Dent is running hard, and it's going to be a 25-yard touchdown run for Dent.
Yeah, good job. That was a heck of a run by Easton. He was able to get through the hole and take off, and then he had someone trying to grab his legs down about the 5-yard line, just kind of sidestep or high step through it, made his way to the end zone.
He was running like a scalded cat, Mike. Pending the extra point here, 26-0, the lead for the Indians. Chase Bradshaw comes in from the sideline with Coach Watrick with a play for the extra point. Slot to the right is Dent. In the pistol is Albertini. Set to his left is Hayden Smith. Here's the snap. Back to pass. Rolls to his right. Has Bradshaw. Touch or extra point is good. Chase Bradshaw wide open on the right-hand side. So was Chandler, his brother, right behind him. Indians lead 28-0. 3:40 left to go in the first. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. This is St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back. Peyton Norris kicked that ball off, then hustled down there and made the tackle. Willard on the return, brought down by Norris at their own 23-yard line. Good job by the young sophomore getting down there to make that play for the Indians.
Peyton's done a good job stepping up there in that kicking position, and he's not afraid. Usually your kicker kind of hangs back, and you see him waiting to kind of play the safety position, but not Peyton. He's down the field wanting to make a tackle.
1st and 10 for the Jets from their own 23. In the pistol is Meggs. Nope, excuse me, new quarterback, number 10 in there. Back to pass is number 10. A good catch, pass and catch, knocked out of bounds by Bradshaw. That pass from Brandon Johnson, the young freshman, to Kendall Pierce, the senior. Great pass and catch by the Jets. And it gets them clear up to their own 37-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Jets. That's the 3rd different quarterback the Jets has put in the backfield, Mike. Marsh, Meggs, and Johnson. Now Johnson slips to the right tight end. Willard is in the pistol. Set next to him is Marsh. Or vice versa. Marsh takes the snap, low snap. He's going to run off the left side now. Tries to reverse field, puts a move on, and he's going to be rolled out of bounds by Bradshaw as he gets to the sideline. He's going to have positive yardage on the play, and he's going to gain about 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Second 8 for the Jets. 3:24 left to go here in the first period. Johnson back in the pistol again. Set to his right is Willard. Marsh is slot to the right. Back to pass is Johnson. Rolls to the right. Throws it out pattern. And Hayden Smith tries to swat that down. Misses it. And it's complete. But it's going to be short of the 1st down. That was to Marsh. Smith tried to jump that route. Mike just missed the ball. It's completed. But luckily there's another Indian there to make the tackle. It's going to bring up 3rd down. And let's call it 3. Ball into Indian territory. Down to the Indian 36.
Johnson in there, quarterback. That's what the switch was. He gets in there, they're going to throw the ball, see if they can change their luck, and so far it's worked fairly well for them.
3rd down and a short 3 for the Jets. In the pistol is Johnson. Set to his left is Willard. Slot to the left is Marsh. Here comes the snap for the Jets, and that's going to be a flag on Marsh as he reset himself. It's going to back the Jets up 5 yards, or is it a delay game? Excuse me, it is a delay game. I thought they got Marsh for resetting, but it isn't. It's a delay game. Either way, it's a 5-yard penalty. Mike, I got a whole new appreciation for good color men like yourself last week when I was trying to call the game, keep stats, and run the live stream all at the same time. Here's a low snap. Johnson back to pass, throw it down deep in the middle, has his man, Marsh, and it's caught, and it's going to be a touchdown, Jets. How did the Indians let somebody get behind them like that is beyond me, but they did, and the Jets get on the scoreboard with 3:10 left to go here in the first period.
That was a nice pass and catch, 41 yards there.
That'll be something for Coach Wadrick to correct on game film when the Indians watch game film. As Johnson's came in with a hot hand, throwing that ball all over the football field. 2 receivers wide to the right for the Jets. In the pistol is Johnson. Set to his right is Willard. Now motion from right to left. It's going to be a handoff to Willard. He's going to be hit, and he's in the end zone for the extra point. So the score is now 28-8 as the Indians defense give up a touchdown to the Jets. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Let's St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul. Got a little distracted by the good band out
I
there,
did
Mike.
too, Dan. I was looking at that too.
Man, that's
Band
St.
out there
Paul
playing,
Junior
got a little
Senior
help.
Band's rocking and rolling down there. I was just enjoying the entertainment. The score is 28-8 off of the good pass and catch from Johnson to Marsh on the touchdown, and then the extra point was good, a run by Willard. So the Jets with some momentum here as the Indians lead 28-8, 3:10 left to go in the first. Here's an onside kick to the right side. It doesn't
10 yards,
quite go. Oh, it did go 10 yards,
Oh.
and now the Jets, did they touch it is the big key before it went. It looked to me like it was
They might have got the
almost
ball
touched
back.
by the Jets, and it is
They did.
Jets football after it goes 10 yards. As it looked like it was going to stop short, went right to the 40, and then an Indian tried to pounce on it. I didn't know if that was off the foot of the Jets, though the onside kick is successful by the Jets, and they will take over 1st and 10 right at midfield. Boy, that couldn't have – it just made it far enough as his nose of the football is touching the 40. It has to go 10 yards. That's exactly what it did. Johnson up under center. Fullback is Marsh. Willard is the tailback. Indians up on the line of scrimmage. Everybody down in a three-point stance. A little pass out to Marsh. That's a backwards pass, and Albertini trying to scoop it up. He loses it. Now it's still loose on the ground, still loose. And now Bradshaw, he's going to be on his foot, but it's going to be Indians on the recovery. And that was a backwards
crazy
pass.
play.
And Albertini tries to chase that football down and pick it up. As Chandler Bradshaw a little shaken up on the play.
Good heads up by the defense to realize that was a backwards pass and get on the ball.
As Chase Bradshaw finally picks that up, but he's on a knee when he did get possession. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians. So the Jets give it right back to the Indians. 1st and 10 for the Indians from the Jet 27. First and 10 for the Indians from the Jet, 22-yard line, not the 27. Albertini in the pistol. Set to his right is Easton Dent. Slot to the right's Hayden Smith. Good snap. Albertini's going to keep it. Off the right side, puts a couple moves on, and there's a late flag comes in, thrown by the back judge. And I don't know what's going on down in the end zone, but
that's the second time that 16's been involved in some kind of a little skirmish.
And he's headed off to the sideline as he takes his helmet off as Willard and it appeared to be Wilson Smith, which is the most laid-back person on the Indian team, is down in the end zone. All I seen was something going on after the play. There's 3 flags in the Altoona or in the St. Paul end zone. There's 1 flag about the 23-yard line, or no, excuse me, the 13-yard line. That's going to be a block in the back or a hold on the Indians. So we'll see what happens here, as it will be one of them. I don't know if they'll call that after the play,
I'm
Mike.
not sure how they'll
and
do that.
who
We'll
they
see.
will call that on, but that
I don't think it can offset, but
either Wilson Smith was blocking way down the field or something, because the 3 flags on what was going on after the play is clear in the end zone, and it was almost around the corner from where I can see in the booth here.
And I didn't see it either, Dan, but I think you're probably right. I think Wilson was probably blocking downfield because he knew the runner was coming.
Either way, we'll let the referees sort this out here as the play is stopped here for a minute. We're trying to sort out all the laundry on the field. The Indians lead 28-8. Pretty good game put together so far by the Indians. They let the Jets get on the scoreboard with 3 back-to-back pass and catches from Johnson. Johnson comes in at the quarterback position and really lights it up so far in the passing game for the Jets. Then the Jets recover an onside kick, and on the very first play, a backwards pass ended up on the ground. It's going to be a block in the back on the Indians. And then we have unsportsmanlike conduct, personal foul on the Jets. And number 16 is ejected from the ball game.
So we'll see.
That's too bad.
How this gets marked off here.
And I'm not sure how it will be either. I don't know if it'll be after. I still don't know whether they'll mark.
Well, should be from the spot on the block in the back.
Or is it just offsetting penalties and replay the down? I think that is what it will end up being. It just depends whether or not the personal foul in the end zone happened during the play or after the play. So we will see here. It'll be 1st I think they're going to replay the down, Mike, so I believe it's going to be, well, we won't speculate. We'll just wait and see. They're backing up to the line of scrimmage, so I believe
referee's over there talking to Coach Rada, the Jets coach, explaining to him what's going on. Hopefully he'll do the same for us, maybe.
2:53 left to go here in the first period. 28-8. Indians lead by 20 here in the first period. I think the big key is whether the extracurricular activity happened in the end zone after the play or during the play. So it appears to me like they're going to be offsetting penalties and replay the down.
Now they're getting ready to go backwards.
No, now they're going to. Well, that don't make any sense. That's not where the block in the back flag was.
That was from the line of scrimmage. They went back 10 yards.
Now they're going to go both directions.
Now
They're
we're going to go back forward 15 and end up with a net gain of 5 yards for the Indians. I'm gonna put.
Well, I don't want to disagree with the call, but the block in the back should have been from where the spot foul is, not from the line of scrimmage, unless I'm mistaken.
I'm not sure how I'm supposed to score that, Dan, so I'm just going to talk about it and we'll explain it later.
And it's going to replay the down, and it is going to be
now it's still first down
and 4 from the Jet 17-yard line.
So the Indians got a 5-yard penalty but gained 4 yards.
Well, they didn't get a 5-yard penalty.
Or 10-yard penalty. 10-yard
now they're going to say it's an automatic first down.
Okay.
Huh. Okay, so it's an
All right.
automatic first down.
Looks good to me. Let's play.
Yep, let's play. In the pistol is Albertini. Slot to the right is Chandler Bradshaw. To the left is Easton Dent. Going to be the option. Dent's going to keep it. It's going to be wrapped up right in the middle. Short gain on the play. Gain of about 3 off that option. That'll bring up second down and 7. The ball crosses the 15 down to the 13-yard line. Second down and let's call it 6 for the Indians from their own 13-yard line.
No, from the Jets 13.
From the Jets 13-yard line. 2:23 left to go in the first. Indians lead 28-8. In the pistol is Albertini. Slot to the right is Bradshaw. Set to Albertini's left is Dent. Here's the snap. Same option. Wasn't a very good option. Albertini's just going to keep it, streak around the left side, and he's going to have a 13-yard touchdown run for the Indians. And the Indians are going to lead 34-8, 2:09 left to go here in the first period. Pending the extra point here for the Indians. I think we painted that picture about as clear as mud, Mike, is what all transpired there.
We painted it just how we saw it. That's kind of what it looked like to me. It was clear as mud.
And the pistol is Albertini. Set to his right is Easton Dent. Slot to the left is Chandler Bradshaw. Albertini's going to keep it, runs the option. It was Albertini. Bounces off a one and somehow makes it into the end zone. Extra point is good. So I can tell you what's supposed to happen is Bradshaw came from the left slot, was supposed to reverse field, come across, be the option man running to the right. Albertini wanted to pitch it to him, but Bradshaw was too far behind him, couldn't get it to him. So Albertini just kept it, bounced off of a tackle, and then slipped right into the end zone for the extra point.
That was definitely a drive that you didn't see very often. So
2:09 left to go in the first period. Indians lead 36-8.
We're still in the first quarter.
And we are still in the first quarter with quite a bit of time left in the first quarter. And the players for the Indians' jerseys are getting a little muddy. Wilson Smith got mud all over the back of his jersey. And we await the kickoff here by the Indians. Pretty good game put together by the Indians. Just a little hiccup on defense there once, Mike.
Yeah, just a little bit of they tightened up a little bit on their pass coverage. And, Altoona, credit to them, come out and made adjustments. They found that the running game wasn't working for them. So they made that change, put Johnson back there, throwing the ball, and he did it really well. Drove down the field with a nice touchdown pass and catch and put points on the board. So they're making adjustments, and that's, what you got to do. So credit to Altoona. They're doing what they're trying to do what they need to keep themselves in this game.
Mike had volleyball coach Mr. Haight on last week as a halftime guest. Well, he wasn't here, Mike. He couldn't make it, but high school volleyball, he talked a lot about the volleyball girls. Very proud off the start they are, working hard as Peyton Norris set to kick the ball off. We'll go over all the volleyball schedule, cross-country schedule and whatnot. Taken by the up back, big number 78. He's going to be brought down after a 5-yard gain. Good hands. Let me turn my page back over here. Good hands by number 78. Kendall Pierce He had a nice catch, passing catch earlier too, so good hands by him taking that from that up back position. And Jets are going to start into Indian territory at the Indian 39. He caught that on his second bounce in the air. And it took 2 or 3 Indians to bring him down into Indian territory to the 39. First and 10 for the Jets from the Indian 39 up to the line of scrimmage they come. Johnson's going to stay in the pistol. Set to his right is Sade. Slot to the right is Marsh. Back to pass again, looking to his right. And it's going to be, dropped. I even
Just
said it too quick. Because Hayden Smith jumped that route nicely.
He saw it coming.
And he had a pick six road everywhere, and it came out of his hands, and he drops it. And it's just going to be an incomplete pass. Well, I tell you what, Johnson did a good job, Mike. He looked to his left first, and then he instantly just turned and threw it to his right without really looking, but he really looked that off first. That's a pretty good feat by a young freshman. We'll see what the Jets do here. 2nd down and 10. They're going to have to hustle up. Taking quite a while to get to play in. 2nd and 10 from the Indian 39. Up to the line of scrimmage they come. In the pistol now is in the pistol this time is number 30, Sade, 4th quarterback to take the snap. Sade's going to keep it off the right side, trying to dodge a couple tackles. Can't. Big loss on the play. Brought down Albertini. Smith is the 2 first ones there for the, and it's going to be a loss by 3. Wilson Smith over there on it. I tell you what, Wilson Smith's rounding out to really doing a great job at that defensive position and a guard for a young man that hasn't played much football in his life. He's really learning quickly, doing a great job for the Indians. 3rd down and 13 back in Jet territory now at their own 37.5-yard line. Up to the line of scrimmage they come. Johnson back in the pistol. Set to his left is Sade. Slot to left is Marsh. Back to pass, under duress, rolls to his left, throws it deep, caught by Marsh again, and he gets past Wilson Smith, and Marsh is going to be in the end zone as Smith tried to knock that down. That's good for a Jet touchdown. So the Jets really exposing the secondary of the Indians, and Johnson to Marsh, and it's a touchdown for Altoona.
2nd touchdown reception for Marsh. He's got 84 yards and 2 touchdowns receiving for the Jets.
I'm not even sure Marsh was the intended receiver. There was 2 Jets right there on the, and it is 36-14 with 1:02 left to go here in the first. Wilson Smith had a chance to, Hayden Smith looked to have a chance to knock that down. It got over his hands, and that let the defender be behind him, and then Marsh was off to the races, and Bradshaw couldn't catch him. In the pistol is Marsh. Snap goes between his legs. He's going to try to run. He's smacked hard by Gib Carter, and the extra point is no good. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout in the St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul. Score is 36-14. Back-to-back good drives put together by the Jets. Well, there was a turnover sandwiched in between the 2 good passes and catches. Good for a touchdown for the Jets as Johnson comes in.
Onside again.
This time it's quick right down the middle, taken by Peyton Norris. Norris on the return, trying to get around, trying to break a couple tackles, has a nice return into Jet territory to the 32. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians at the Jet 32. 54 seconds left to go in the first, 36-14. Indians up by 22. 1st and 10 for the Indians from the Jet 32-yard line.
See if the Indians could get out of the first quarter here with a little more points on the board. Got 54 seconds, hadn't taken them very long any time so far, so they've got plenty of time to put points on the board before the end of the quarter.
In the pistol is Albertini. Rolls to his right. Now looks down the middle of the field. Throws a zipper to Bradshaw. A bullet to Bradshaw. Pass is complete. It's going to be a 15-yard first down pass and catch from Albertini to Bradshaw. As he set his foot, really ripped it right to him, and Bradshaw reels it in at the 22-yard line of the Jets.
I see St. Paul throwing the ball a little bit, showing that they can do the same thing. If they need to switch it up, they can. So good to see that.
1st and 10 for the Indians at the Jet 22-yard line. 33 seconds, and the clock is rolling. Indians lead 36-14. Albertini in the pistol. Now wide to the right is Smith. Smith goes in motion. Going to run the option. Dent's going to keep it. It's got some running room. Lowers his shoulder pad and runs over one Jet. Sade brings him down, not until a 9-yard gain. And it's timeout. Indians 11 seconds left to go here in the first period. Indians lead 36-14. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Let's St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul, where St. Paul leads 36-14. 11 seconds left to go in the first. 2nd down and 1. Ball at the 23-yard line of the Jets. Wide to the right is Chandler Bradshaw. Up under center this time is going to be Albertini. In the eye, Den at fullback, Smith at tailback. Back to pass. Albertini under duress. Had him by the jersey. Throws it late.
Oh, nice play.
Pass and catch is made by Bradshaw as he was
nice.
right on the sideline, looked down at his feet before he caught the ball to see where he was at. And Albertini, there's a little confusion on the play on how the set was supposed to be. Hayden Smith lined up an eye. Albertini pointed off to the left like somebody was supposed to be to the left. Somebody came right up the middle for the Jets on a blitz and had Albertini by the jersey. He gets away from him, then throws a bullet in the end zone. And a nice catch made by Chandler Bradshaw for the Indian touchdown.
Chandler knew right where he was, too. You saw him. He knew his feet were close, and he kept them both in bounds. That was a heck of a catch. Good play by Albertini getting him the ball, but a lot of credit to Bradshaw knowing where he's at on the field and keeping that in bounds for the score.
42-14. 5 seconds left to go here in the first, pending extra point. Albertini up under center. Hayden Smith at tailback. Here comes the snap. Rolls to his right. Looks across the middle and has Bradshaw again. Good for the extra point. And that takes the score out to 44-14 with 5 seconds left to go in the first. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul. St. Paul leads 44-14. 5 seconds left to go, still in the first period, Mike.
Yeah, it's been a fun game. Still 5 seconds to go in the first period. We'll see what happens here on the kickoff. But, a lot of credit to Albertini in that first quarter. Put a lot of are responsible for most of the Indians' points. He had rushing touchdowns, also return touchdown, a passing touchdown. The only thing they got to figure out now is a way to get him out of the backfield to catch one, have a receiving touchdown. He'd be like hitting for the cycle in a baseball game.
Peyton Norris set to kick off for the Indians. Driving kick down the middle. It's going to roll towards the sideline and goes out of bounds about the 12-yard line. So we'll see if the Jets elect to back Norris up 5 yards or if they will take it at the 25.
I think they're going to want to maybe kick again. See if they can't do a little better on field
they
position.
are backing the kickoff team up 5 yards, and Norris will have to re-kick. Pretty good game put together by the Indians so far, Mike. A little hiccup on defense on a pass coverage a couple times. Let the Jets into the end zone. Results in the Jets 14 points. Give the Jets credits. Johnson has came in and really threw the ball well for the Jets.
Yeah, that was really a good switch there. It's impressed me how they were able to make that change, and it's worked for them.
Kick taken down at about the 17-yard line by Marsh. Tries to return to the right. Hit by Dent. Ball's loose. Dent rips that ball out.
Indians got
and
it.
It's a fumble on the play, and I think the Indians come up with it. I haven't seen it. Yes, I do. Signal is towards the Indians. Boy, I seen Dent. He go up there and popped him, and he just ripped that football out of Marsh's hands. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. When we come back, it's going to be a turnover on the Jets, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians at the west end zone 30-yard line. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. Let's St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul, folks. It's 44-14, and we're getting ready to start the second period here at Miles Field in St. Paul.
Wild.
Indians with the football, 1st and 10 from the Jet 30-yard line. Albertini in the pistol, 2 receivers wide to the right. Chandler Bradshaw, Hayden Smith. Set to the left of Albertini is Dent. Now Dent rolls out to the right. Albertini's going to keep. He's got a lot of running room. Breaks one tackle, cuts back to center of the field, still running. And off to the left he goes. It's going to be a 30-yard touchdown run for the Indians.
Didn't take long. That's why we got so many points. It just doesn't take them very long.
Another 30-yard touchdown run. Good block out there by Hayden Smith down that right sideline. No flags on the play. Touchdown will stand. The score is 50-14. 11:49 left to go in the second period. Kaiser Watrick hustles in for the extra point. The young freshman. Up to the line of scrimmage comes the Indians. Up under center is Albertini. Fullback is Dent. Tailback is Watrick. Hand off to Watrick. Off the left side. Into the end zone he goes for the extra point. It is good. Indians good on that extra point. It'll be 52-14. 11:49 left to go here in the first half. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout in the St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul. St. Paul set to kick off. Peyton Norris with the ball teed up for the Indians. Going towards the right sideline. I think that was touched by a Jet. Now it's going to be picked up about to 12. That's Johnson on return. He's chopped down. Good hit by Albertini. And he chops Johnson down. It's going to be first and 10 for the Jets back at their own 15, I believe. Cleared on the other end of the field. Mike, I have to admit to something that I don't really know, and I don't know if it's because I haven't seen it or I've forgotten. But who's the punter for the Indians?
That might be a good trivia question because we haven't seen him punt. Well, for sure tonight, but we haven't seen him punt maybe once all season.
Well, I'm not even.
I can't remember
I can't
for
even
sure if
remember
that's
who it
even
is. Timeout Jets with 11:43. We'll go ahead and stay here for this timeout. I just happened to think of that, and when the Indians scored again, I thought, I'm not even sure I know who. The Indians will probably get a delay of game penalty if they ever have to punt the football because they're not going to know how to line up.
No, that's for sure.
And the reason I say that is it's 52-14, and we just started the second quarter, so it has been a run fest.
Yeah, you know what? Something that I've noticed, though, Dan, that's really helped the Indians and been a big part of their success tonight especially, but also in all the other games this season, is the whole team really has a lot of football smarts, and I don't know if any other way to describe it, but they all are aware of where they're at on the field, and they are aware of what's going on around them, and they got their head on a swivel, seeing the field, and that's really something that makes a big difference, and that's the reason that they're able to do so much, especially Adam Albertini. He's got such a good presence on the field, knowing where his blocks should be, and if it's not there, he's finding another hole, reversing his field. But credit to Bradshaw for, like I said earlier, knowing where he was at in the end zone, not getting himself out of bounds, and then just a lot of things like that. And it's those little things. Easton Dent knocking that ball out on that kick return. Those are the things that you know, when you've got kids that are smart about the game of football and what they can do and how that can benefit them, that's really going to help you out, and I think that's been proven, especially tonight.
First and 10 for the Jets from their own 15. In the pistol is Johnson. Set to his left is Marsh, I believe. Johnson. That is packed off by Smith. And this time he didn't drop it. And it's going to be a touchdown for the Indian. 15-yard pick six for Hayden Smith with 11:43 left to go here in the second period, as that time Smith stayed on his man, seen the pass, and right in his hands it went. He returns at 15 yards for the Indian touchdown. 58-14, Indians lead with 11:43 left to go here in the second period. Holy smokes, Mike. 72
well, Hayden
points.
Had been seeing that coming, and he did. He finally got one there, and he knew it was coming, and he was right there to get it.
In the eye is the Indians. Landon Beechner up under center. Chandler Bradshaw at fullback. Dent at tailback. Altoona is creeping up the line of scrimmage. Hand off to Dent. Dent's going to scurry off the right side into the end zone. Extra point is good, and that takes the score to, folks, I'm not stuttering. It is 60-14 and we are
barely 15 seconds into the second quarter.
17 seconds into the second quarter, folks. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. Let's St. Paul football on Hot 105.
Man. That's only one quarter.
I want to thank everybody for joining us on the live stream. It's been a entertaining ball game so far.
This one, that live stream's nice. It's fun to watch.
Norris with the kick. Johnson's going to be slung out of bounds about the 30 for the Jets. A young freshman with a good return, taking the Norris kick. out of bounds at the Jet 28-yard line. Mike, I said earlier, had a Coach Haight on last week. Very proud of his volleyball girls. Tomorrow, high school volleyball at Chinook starts at 9 a.m. And then on October the 7th, the middle school volleyball at St. Paul, 5 p.m. So there's a chance to go to St. Paul, watch some middle school volleyball. On the 8th, high school volleyball goes to Pleasanton. And then on the 10th, high school volleyball at Galena. So a very busy week for the volleyball girls this week, Mike.
Yeah, it's a busy time of the year, and the volleyball girls are busy just like the boys are.
In the pistol is Johnson. To his left and right is two running backs. Ball is on the ground for a second. Now, I'm not sure who even has it. Does Johnson still had it? It's going to be a big loss on the play. Apologize for that. Couldn't catch where the ball went. I think 11 on the carry was Reeves, the junior. It's going to be a loss of 4. It'll be second down and 14 for the Jets, backed up at their own 26-yard line.
Indian defense got some fire in them now. They're starting to smell the victory if they can get to halftime here, but it's still 11 minutes away.
Second down and 14 for the Jets, and the pistol is Johnson. Here comes the snap. Johnson's going to keep it to the right. Wilson Smith rips him down. Good play by Smith, fighting in between them tackles, or lead blocks. It's Johnson. Another big loss on the play. It's going to be third down and 20. Third down and 20. Back at their own 20 is the Jets.
Indians' defensive line is just swarming the Jets when they're trying those running plays. That pass they had success with, but you can't do that all the time. You end up with a deal like Hayden Smith seeing it coming. So a lot of credit to the Indian defense. They're pretty solid all around.
Third down and 20 for the Jets. Johnson in the pistol again for the Jets. Here comes the snap. It's a good snap. He's going to try it off the left-hand side. He's got some running room this time. Hit by Dent and looks like Chase Bradshaw on the tackle. It's going to bring up fourth down and long for the Jets. Johnson with a 5-yard gain on the play. Give him 4. It'll be fourth down and call it 17. Mason Winter comes in at linebacker, relieves Stone King. Actually, Winter comes in at the nose guard position. As the Jets taking a while here, see if they drop back in punt formation or if they decide to go for it here. Marsh in the game in punt formation, stands back about his own 12. Albertini stands back at his own 29-yard line. Good snap. Oh, Marsh is going to keep it. Gib Carter was right there in his face, and he's going to be tackled short of the first down. So good job by Carter. Got his hands up. Marsh didn't have time to get the punt off. As the JV, we're going to call it the JV offense, comes out for the Indians. So give the good hand to the St. Paul Indian starting offense. Albertini, Bradshaw, Gibb, Carter, Wilson, Smith, Easton Dent comes off the field. As Landon Beechner comes in from the sideline with play. Chase Bradshaw stays out there for the moment. Up to the line of scrimmage comes Austin O'Hara. 8:44 left to go in the first half. Landon Beechner up under center. Vincent Smith at fullback. Kaiser Watrick tailback. Big hole for Watrick. Good move. He's going to be whipped down by Johnson, but a nice gain on first down. And a good hole for him to run through. It is going to be a gain of, he is down to the 19-yard line, just short. No, it is a first down.
First down. Give him 10.
Give him 10, so good hard run by Kaiser Watrick to get the first down for the Indians. 8:11 left to go here in the first half. Indians lead 60-14. Up to the line of scrimmage comes the Indians. Fullback is Vincent Smith. Tailback is Kaiser Watrick. Beechner up under center. He's going to hand it to Watrick again. Same side. Watrick with some more running room. Going to have good positive yard on first down.
Watrick, good hard running there.
Going to be second down, this time short of a first down. He is down to about the 12-yard line of the Jets. It'll be second down, and let's call it 3. Bradshaw splitting time here, running plays in from the tight end positions. Let's set the offensive line. It's Austin O'Hara at the center. Stone King right guard. Left guard is Mason Winter. Fullback Vincent Smith. Tailback Kaiser Watrick. This time it's Vincent Smith. Got some running room off the right side. Out of bounds. It's going to be short. Good hard run by Vincent Smith off that right side. He popped it to the outside. He's going to have a first and goal for the Indians. Looks to be about down at the 2-yard line. Couldn't catch the Jet that threw him out of bounds. But Smith running hard. And Watrick. The Indians JV offense looking good here against the Jets. Beechner up under center. Smith at fullback. Watrick at tailback. First and goal from the 2. Hand off to Smith. Left side. Touchdown. Vincent Smith. It's in for the Indians as he gets mobbed in the end zone. 66-14. Indians lead. 6:32 left to go here in the second period. The Indians didn't lose a beat on that second string offense, did they?
They drove right down the field and scored. That's a good job by all of the second team offense in there. Line did a good job blocking, and Watrick and Smith, good job carrying the ball, and Landon Beechner, good job in there directing it all from the quarterback position.
Pending the extra point here. Indians taking a lot of time in the huddle. Need to hustle up here.
Counts on. Timeout. Coach is trying to call timeout.
Watrick's going to have to call a timeout because it's taking entirely too long pending the extra point. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Let's St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul, where the Indians lead 66-14 with 6:32 left to go here in the first half. Extra point pending as the Jets come back on the field out of the Indian timeout. A little confusion with the JV offense getting this set up. It is a different look. Split back formation. Beechner up under center. Vincent Smith and Kaiser Watrick in the split back formation. Rolling to his left is Watrick, pass and catch, Watrick to Beechner. Beechner rolls to his left, throws it to Bradshaw. Extra point is good. Good pass and catch from Landon Beechner to Chandler Bradshaw. Takes the score out to 68-14. 6:32 left to go here in the first half.
Pretty
we'll
impressive.
Be back after this 30-second timeout. Let's St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul, where St. Paul leads 68-14 over the Jets of Altoona. 6:32 left to go here in the first half. It has been a dominating game offensively for the Indians. Altoona has had some success with their passing game and have scored twice on good, nice pass and catches from Johnson to 2 or 3 receivers for the Jets. Bounding kick by Norris is going to be taken back at 15. And number 30 on the return is Zach Sade, the junior. And he's going to be brought down by Mason Winter for the Indians. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Jets. Going to be timeout Jets. 6:27 left to go to the first, and we'll go ahead and take a short timeout. We'll take another 30-second timeout. Let's St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back. 2 Miles Field here in St. Paul. 6:27 left to go in the second period. Indians lead 68-14 over the Jets. Jets come out on the field 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line. Johnson in the pistol. Set to his right is Reeves. To his left is Sade. Here comes the snap. It's a good snap. Johnson's going to keep it. Try the right side. Wilson Smith. He spins away from Smith, as Smith had him initially. Brought down there by, looks like maybe Murillo. Nope, must have been Ethan Stone King. Brings him down. He's going to lose a couple on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 12 as Stone King comes out. Mason Winter goes in the game. We got Kaiser Wartrick in there at linebacker, as well as Landon Beechner at a cornerback position. Wilson Smith and Gib Carter still in there at the defensive ends. Hayden Smith still in there, as well as Albertini back at the free safety. Wartrick at that middle linebacker down and ready. Johnson awaits the snap. Here comes the snap. It's a low snap. Johnson's going to keep it, try right up the middle, and he's going to be bottled up there. Wilson Smith in on it. Looks like Adam Albertini comes in off the pile. And it's going to be no gain on the play. It's going to be up 3rd down and 12. A gain of a couple on the play. Give him 3rd down and 10. Didn't move the stick very quick. It's hard to see on the other end of the field. Altoona at their own 19-yard line. 5-10. Clock's running. 3rd down and 10 for the Jets. In the pistol is Johnson. Set to his right is Reeves, to his left is Sade. This time he's going to hand it off to Sade. He's got some running room, and we whipped down by Peyton Norris, but not until he has a 1st down. Off a good hard run off the right side. Oh, maybe I
think he's a little short.
Maybe just a little bit short. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 3. Good hard run off the right side. Norris brings him down short of the 1st down.
You know, one thing about the Jets, Dan, they got to play both ways. They've got 3 reserves over on the sideline, and one of those, the player earlier, got disqualified, so actually only 2. Well, they do have 3, I think, over there, but they're not very deep, so those kids are working hard both ways.
4th down and 2. Marsh back in punt position. Albertini backs up, ball's loose on the ground. Marsh is going to keep it again. Now he scrambles to the right and to the left. Has some running room. He's going to have a 1st down. Finally brought down by Norris. Marsh scrambles around and gets a 1st down for the Jets. So they will remain on offense. Good hard run by Marsh. As there was pressure in there again on the punt attempt. It was a low snap. Marsh had trouble picking the ball up. And Altoona remains on offense. 1st and 10 for the Jets at their own 31-yard line. Mason Winter, nose guard. Gid Carter at right defensive end. Wilson Smith, left defensive end. Cornerbacks is Landon Beecher and Peyton Norris. Linebacker, Chase Bradshaw, Kaiser Wartrick, and Adam Albertini at free safety. Johnson with the football. Hands it to Sade again. Runs off the left. Oh, that was a good hard hit in there by Wartrick. A good lead block by the Jets. It's going to be positive yardage for Sade. It's going to be a gain of 5. 2nd down and 5 as now the ball is up to the 36-yard line. 2nd down and 5. 3:22 left to go in the first. Clock rolling. Johnson in the pistol. Sade to his left. Reeves to his right. They are waiting for the count to start before they snap. Here's the snap. Ball gets in between Johnson's leg, and he just rolls down the ground as Gib Carter. He was coming in hot. And good call by Johnson just to get back on that football as Vincent Smith hustles in for Carter. Smith's going to come in at that right defensive end position. It'll be 3rd down and 13 for the Jets. Now backed up to their own 27. 2:39, counting 68-14. It seems like we've played for 3 hours, Mike.
Well, it does. It seems like a full game.
You haven't got to give any halftime stats yet. That's because we're not at halftime. Johnson in the pistol. To the left of Johnson, Sade. To the right is Reeves. Johnson hands it to Sade. Tries to get away off the right side. That time bottled up pretty quickly there by the Indians. Kaiser Watrick comes in with the tackle. It's going to be 4th down and 11 for the Jets. Ball spotted at their own 29-yard line. Here comes Marsh again. See if he attempts a punt this time for the Jets. He waits the snap. 1:44 and counting. Albertini don't even drop back this time. 4th down and 12. Good snap this time. And he's going to fake it again as Mason Winter was in there on him. And now he's being chased and going to be knocked out of bounds well short of the 1st down. Austin O'Hara with the pressure out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians. The Indians take over in Jet territory at the 34-yard line.
Minute and a half to go here to the half.
1:31 left to go before half. 68-14, Indians lead by 54 points. Vincent Smith at fullback. Kaiser Watrick at tailback. Landon Beechner up under center. Good hard count by Beechner. Draws off the Jets. I'll set the offensive line for you for the Indians. It looks like Austin O'Hara comes in at the center. Ethan Stone King, right guard. Right tight end is Peyton Norris. Left guard's Mason Winter. Left tight end Hayden Smith. Fullback Vincent Smith. Tailback Kaiser Watrick. Quarterback Landon Beechner. It's a pitch to Watrick. Cuts back up towards the middle. Going to be brought down by the defensive end. Good play by the Jets. Short gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and short for the Indians. Gain of 4 on the play. Just over a minute left to go here in the 1st half. Indians lead 68-14. Doesn't look like there's any cross country this week, Mike. Nothing on the schedule anyway, so we'll bring you up to date as much as we can with cross country. Landon Beecher up under center. Hands it again to Watrick. Watrick with some run room off that left side. Spins away from one. And then runs right into another one, brought down hard. Good hard run by Watrick's going to good for Indian 1st down, down to the Jet 20-yard line. Join us next week. The Indians go back on the road to Marmonton Valley and then back at home with Hamburger Night. Chitopa, our sister school, comes to town in 2 weeks from tonight. Beechner up under center, handed to Watrick off the right side. Watrick with some running room around that right side to the end zone he goes. Touchdown.
Watrick
Indians
getting on the board.
17 seconds left to go before half. And the Indians get up into the 70s. 74-14 is the Indians' lead. A lot of offense. What's the total yards on offense, Mike?
I have no idea.
4,000 yards.
I have to add that up.
Well, there's a lot of multi-purpose yards in there.
Yeah, there was.
Kick return, but
Pick
it
6.
has been an offensive game by both teams. 74-14. Good hard-fought game here in the 1st half. And it's just a little too much for the Jets to handle. Beechner rolls out to his right. He's going to throw it late, and it's going to be caught by Smith as an Altoona Midway Jet falls down on the coverage. And Beechner good for the extra point. 76-14, 17 seconds left to go here in the first half. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. It's St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul. 17 seconds left to go here in the first half. 76-14. Mike's got his calculator out on the phone adding all the yardage up. As a kickoff team comes out for the Indians. Peyton Norris tees the ball up for the Indians. And here comes the kick. Driving kick by Norris. Going to be taken on a fly right down to the ground. Goes number 11, Reeves. We'll see if the Jets just take a knee here to end this game. 76-14, Indians lead. 16 seconds left to go in the first half. We'll be, after the conclusion of the game, we'll be back with our KW Trucking post-game show where Mike will give you all of the game stats. As this game will end at halftime because of the mercy rule. So, and it is already 8:30. It's a good thing we're not playing a full game.
No kidding.
Hour and a half into the game, and homecoming tonight for the Indians. And he's just going to take a knee, and the Indians just let him, and that will be the ball game. So, good sportsmanship by each team. Good football game put together, especially by the Indians offensively. Had a couple hiccups on defense. But our halftime final score is Indians 76, Altoona Midway 14. We'll be back with our KW Trucking post-game show after this 2-minute timeout. Let's St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles here in St. Paul. I don't
Folks,
know who
if you didn't get to see that, you missed a show here at the post-game show.
who our band director recruited for help, but he needs to recruit them every week because they were rolling down there.
Oh, they were getting after it. That was pretty neat.
It's pretty fun. Mike, welcome to our KW Trucking post-game shows. The Indians come out victorious 76-14. And, you know, Mike, that's good for the kids to see. I assume there may be some college band players that might be friends of our new band director, but either way, it's exciting for the kids to see what band is great at a football game, and it really sounded good. It's neat for them. They was all enjoying it. Indians come out victorious here, back to football here, 76-14 against Altoona Midway. Nice win for the Indians here tonight. Mike, what do you got for post-game stats?
Well, I got quite a few. We've only played half a football game, but I got a lot of stats to give you. And the good news is for the Indians, everybody that carried the ball in the rushing column scored a touchdown tonight. So that's kind of a neat deal that the scoring got spread around to all the kids. So, but I'll run through it there for you. Adam Albertini led all rushers in the game. He had 8 rushes for 102 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. That's a little bit of a lower total yard-wise for Adam, but they didn't have a very long field. They were playing on the short end of the field most of the night. So 102 yards, 8 rushes, and 4 touchdowns for Adam. He also returned a kickoff for a touchdown, or a punt, rather, for a touchdown. So 5 total scoring touchdowns. He's 2 for 3 passing, 27 yards and a touchdown. That's 6 total touchdowns that Adam was involved with. So a big night for him, even though it was just half a game. Easton Dent had 3 carries for 37 yards and also scored a rushing touchdown for the Indians. Kaiser Watrick, 5 carries, 44 yards and a touchdown. And Vincent Smith, 2 carries, 14 yards and a touchdown for the Indians. Receiving-wise, Chase Bradshaw?
Chase.
Yeah, Chase Bradshaw was 2.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Chandler's number 5, Chase is 65.
Okay,
so
it was Chandler then.
Yeah, Chandler Bradshaw.
Sorry about that. Chandler Bradshaw, 2 receptions, 27 yards, and 1 touchdown for the Indians. On Altoona's side of the ball, though, they had a couple of bright spots when they started throwing the ball. Johnson came in for them at quarterback. He was 4 of 5 passing for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Dayton Marsh had 2 touchdown receptions. He had 3 total receptions for 89 yards. He also had several carries of the ball. He was kind of their workhorse on offense for the Altoona Midway Jets. But the scoring-wise for the Indians, they scored every time that they possessed the ball. They didn't punt the whole game. And then they also scored a defensive touchdown, had the punt return on special teams. So well-rounded scoring night for the Indians and just looked pretty good overall. They had to make a few adjustments, got burned a couple times on the pass receiving, but Hayden Smith came in there on the pick 6. That was the other touchdown that they didn't account for the Indians, and he'd been watching for that all night. Had one chance at it and missed it, but he got it on the next one when he saw it coming. He took off there and really ran with it. So good job by Hayden and all the Indians tonight.
I'm trying to tell you, turn that live stream off.
Yeah. Hello, everyone on the live stream.
He's tricking us over there.
He did that last time, too.
Everybody join us next week at Marmonton Valley. We just played Altoona. Indians will travel to Marmonton Valley next week on another district game, and we're rolling right through this season, Mike, well into it. I'll be over halfway next week, and then October the 18th, back home with Chitopa here on Parents' Night. That will be the last regular season home game for the Indians and for these seniors, so make sure you get out here to Miles Field and support them on October the 18th and the 25th at Southern Coffee County. And I might mention again that tomorrow night, you want to watch some high school volleyball tomorrow on the 5th at Chanute, 9 a.m. start time, and then the 7th, middle school volleyball at St. Paul, 5 p.m. start time. On the 8th, high school volleyball at Pleasanton, 5 p.m., and on the 10th, high school volleyball at Galena, 5 p.m., and no school next Friday, and high school football at Marmonton Valley, 7 p.m. Busy week for the volleyball girls next week.
Yeah, it's going to be busy, and it'll be fun to watch if you can get a chance to get out and watch the girls. I know they appreciate it. It's a lot of fun to watch them play.
Well, thank everybody for joining us. Final score here, Indians 76, Altoona Midway 14. I want to thank Caleb back in the studio. Thank Mike for joining me here in the air chair. We'll see you next week when the Indians travel to Marmonton Valley at Save and Pay M. We'll be on about 6:45. Everybody drive safe. Good night here in Miles Field at St. Paul, where Indians are victorious 76-14. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Caleb.